I'm on week 7 of The Artist's Way, and it is getting magical. I'll explain how. 99.9% of the course so far has just been about drilling into your head. Get out of your own way. Open yourself up to a force greater than yourself that loves you. Open yourself up to that force and its plan for you, and magical things will begin to happen. Now here's a little micro example of how that's happened for me without even really realizing at the time. But you gotta understand kind of a little bit about me. My decoration style, minimalist, don't really care about where I live, how I live, that sort of thing. That's what I tell myself, or that's what I believed about myself. So never really had posters or anything like that in my room, just very blank. One of her tasks was to decorate a room, and this was ages ago. And then randomly, I'll actually have to take you into my room to show you. Okay, this is the last time it did anything really, anything sort of like this, which was maybe 3 years ago. They did that to my guitar case. But then randomly, one day, and I just randomly have the idea to decorate my room. And this is how I've done it. First, I took the bed apart because I was always interested in sleeping on the floor. And that's another exercise. She has something called Imaginary Lives, where she goes, if you had 5 imaginary lives, what would you do? And one of them, for me, was being a monk. And I didn't even realize that is kind of connected to why I took my bed apart, but I digress, sidebar. But I randomly got into this arts and craft project of doing that. What are the good things that happened yesterday? And then I did this to the door. Courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. Thank you, gratitude. So that's just the ladder of consciousness. So it's from this book, Power vs. Force, that when you start operating from these levels, your life will get really, really good, which I do believe, but I keep forgetting. So this is a good reminder before I get out the door. What else? What was the point of this video? Things are changing. Things are moving. Getting really freed up in this massive surge. Sorry, I was about to burp. In this massive surge of creative energy. And I'm going to do one of the tasks from week 7, and I'll take you along for it. And this is another one that's funny because it was to do with getting magazines and then getting images you want from magazines. And I was like, I don't have any magazines. Where? But it turns out I did. So I'll read the task. I'll read the task for those who like to play along at home. Okay, so collage. Collect a stack of at least 10 magazines, which you will allow yourself to freely dismember, setting a 20-minute time limit for yourself. Tear literally through the magazines, collecting any images that reflect your life or interests. Think of this collage as a form of pictorial autobiography. Include your past, present, future, and your dreams. It is okay to include images you simply like. Keep pulling until you have a good stack of images, at least 20. Now take a sheet of newspaper, a stapler, or some tape or glue, and arrange your images in a way that pleases you. This is one of my students' favorite exercises. So I'm going to put this all up on my wall, because I remember hearing about an Olympian who before she was going for her gold medal, she just put all gold in her room, like covered the whole room with gold images, and she credited that with getting it. So I'm gonna remix the exercise a little bit, which I think Julia Cameron would appreciate. I knew I bought this for a reason 3 years ago. New Philosopher, I used to read this all the time. Ipswich, which if you know, you know. Big Issue, which I do that to feel like a good guy sometimes. Space, The Final Frontier. Don't get me started on space, guys. Our Search for Meaning. Oh, that's going to be my next video, because I found the meaning of life. It's quite simple. Well, it's not simple. It's simple if you... Wait, watch that video. I'll describe that. Stopwatch. Set your timers. Go. And we begin. Oh, I just remembered when I stopped reading this magazine. I submitted a piece of writing and it didn't win, and I pouted. I was like, what? Kind of crazy to think about. And then I never wrote again, because I was like, if it didn't win, it's not meant to be. After one try, which is, it's very silly. This is actually really fun. We must imagine Sisyphus smiling. Mix it up, not philosophy. Let's have some fun. Stargazing could be an artist state. Oh no, time is running out. I fucking love trains. Went over time, got some wild images. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was mainly just flow. That's why I had to stop. Okay, whoa. Okay, I'll show what I've done, because that was a very, very powerful exercise. One of those experiences, like pretty much the whole book, where you go, this isn't going to be anything, but man, it just turned out to be the biggest microcosm of the artistic experience. For one, had all these materials of a collage, and yeah, seemed randomly put together, but as I was taking my things and putting them up, a pattern began to emerge, and it felt like someone else's hand was guiding me. Very strange. And the other idea she talks about, where nothing is finished, you just... Oh, this is where it gets crazy. Nothing's finished. You just... A painting is never finished. You just stop painting in a spot that's good. Well, I was listening to this... I was on this chair, that chair, listening to this Sandy Beach tape, and I got to, now here's a weird synchronicity, I got to a part where he was talking about letting go, and I fell off that chair, really hurt my foot, looked up at the collage and was like, okay, it's done now. But weird synchronicity, and this stuff's just wild. But yeah, here's what I did. And that is completely different from what I set out to do and plan to do from the start. This is magic.